compete. So what's the feeling like right now?
It's been a while, yeah. I mean, it's been a bit of a roller coaster, a couple of setbacks, but I'm in great shape, the best shape of my life probably, and I'm ready to get in the cage. I've been like a caged animal, and I'm good to go now.
Yeah, you were lined up in January, weren't able to compete. A COVID test, right? It's just somebody on the team though, right? Did you suffer any consequences at all, or?
I was okay. One of the team had it, so obviously I couldn't come out and fight. It was a bit of it was a tough time because obviously although I want to fight as much as I possibly can, it's also how we earn our living and how I support my family. So it was tough.
I was gonna say, what is that situation like, right? I mean, you're getting prepared. It's a big moment, like I said. It's the way you support yourself, and then it's all just goes away. I mean, is that tough to deal with for you?
It does, yeah. I mean, like I say, I got my results the night time, the same day we got tested, and then I had a lot of missed calls in the morning to my coach and to the UFC and stuff, and I rung them back, and they said the news, and I was distraught. I was in tears. I'll be honest, because a lot of prep time and preparation went in that over Christmas. I spent a lot of time training over Christmas Day and Boxing Day. A lot of the special times you would have with your family, and I was out training them days. I'm very dedicated. I dedicated my life to this sport, and I feel that it's gonna it happened for a reason. Look at me now. I'm on UFC262 and I'm fighting Lando. Is another good name, so it's happened for a good reason as well. But I would still like that fight. Nick Lentz, he's obviously retired now, but it's still a fight I would like to have. But I'm happy now, and I'm good to go.
Was there hope that you'd get booked sooner, that you could turn things around faster?
Yeah, it would have been nice. Soon as I got home, I carried on training again and stuff. So I was good to go like whenever really. But it's just kind of happened now.
Yeah, I do wonder if there's any benefits. I mean, I guess you got to travel, whether it's Abu Dhabi or here, you got to travel. But is it better here because the situation in Abu Dhabi is a little bit tougher, right? There's a lot of restrictions and that sort of thing. So is this like a better, or does it matter?
It doesn't really matter. I mean, I'm happy. I'm excited to make my USA debut. This is the first time I'm going to fight in America and Texas, sellout crowd, and there's not been no crowds. I've not fought in front of a crowd for 2.5 years now. So it's nice to have that feeling as well.
Nice. What do you make of Lando as an opponent? Right, he's had this weird career, just ups and downs. I guess you've had a weird career too, yeah. Kind of some ups and downs. So what do you think about him as a fighter and what he brings to the table?
He brings a wild striking style. He's pretty tough. He's been in there against some decent fighters. Tony Ferguson's on the card on Saturday, and he's been against him. And, he had a great fight against him. I watched that fight. I was a fan of that fight. But, he's not fought anyone like me. I know they're great names, but I bring a different kind of pressure. And how's he going to deal with that? We'll see on Saturday night.
Yeah, and I guess I did want to ask you, how you feel about your career as a whole, right? I feel like snake bitten a little bit, or a little bit cursed, you know what I mean? Do you ever sit back and go, what's the deal? Do I have bad luck, or what's going on?
Yeah, I have done, but I'm that kind of person, and I think, like I said, everything happens for a reason. Before I got into the UFC, I was fighting sometimes 4 to 5 times a year. So, yeah, it's unusual for me that I've only had two fights. I'm on my 3rd fight in 2 years in the UFC. So, yeah, it's a bit of a bummer, but like I said, it happens for a reason. And Saturday night, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to make a statement. I'm going to make it all better.
Last thing for me, I was going to ask. It sounds like you're taking it all in stride, but do you feel like you need to go out there and do something? I feel like you had this buzz around you when you came into the UFC, and just because of the delays, it's just kind of slowed down a little bit. So do you feel like you need to go out there and remind people who you are, or make some kind of statement, like you said?
I won't put any extra pressure on me. I'll just let my body do the work, and I've practiced, I've trained hard, everything's already in place. So what'll happen will happen, and I'm pretty sure I'll make a statement on Saturday night.
Mike, it's dead center right.
Okay.
Lando's obviously known for his spectacular knockouts, his flashy style of striking. You're, of course, known for your wrestling. Have you seen anything from him do you see any strengths in his grappling and wrestling game outside of his striking?
Looks like he's got okay wrestling and grappling, but he's not as good as mine. He's not on my level, so I'm confident that I win that area.
And then he's dropping to 145 for this fight after fighting most of his career at 155. Do you think his body is going to be able to handle that weight cut against a style like yours in there?
Exactly, like you said, the style like mine is what makes the difference. Yeah, he might make with featherweight okay, because he didn't seem like a very big lightweight, but it's that mental stress that you've got to put under when you cut. You've got to be used to it. I'm used to it. I've done it all my career. I've done it all my wrestling career, so I'm definitely used to it. You know, I've got the experience in that side of things, and the pressure that I'm going to put on him, the dominance, and you know, I'm going to chip away at his soul. Then you know, he's going to definitely crumble.
And then you mentioned this was your U.S. debut, correct?
It is, yeah.
In Texas. Texan fans in general are a little more outspoken than most
Yeah.
American fans. Have you run into any? Yes, yeah, right here. Have you run into any interesting characters out here in Houston?
I haven't, no, not just yet. I mean, I've been here since Sunday, but we've not had a chance to obviously go around and look around and see things because, you know, we've got to stay in the hotel and stay away from that COVID. We don't want no more setbacks. No more setbacks.
Right, going from Texas to talking about a more civilized city. Apparently the UFC are returning to London in August later this year, or there's at least talks about it. I don't know if you want to even look past this weekend, but would you like to get on that card if you could?
100%. I want to make up for lost time. I want to get in this Saturday night, make a statement, get a good win, and then I want to be in London if it happens.
Obviously, they're two very different fighters, but your last outing against Movsar Evloev, frustrating fight, obviously. Were there any takeaways from that you feel you can bring into this fight that will make you better prepared to deal with Venata?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I got back, like, the kind of person I am, you know, I broke my jaw that fight. Went and had an operation straight away, but I was back training the day after. I was jogging, but main thing what I was doing, I was working on my mistakes and speaking to my coach straight away, and you know, and I've definitely learned a lot from that fight. And I've looked back at it, and you know, there's a few things I did do wrong in the fight as well, but I've corrected them, and I'm good to go. You know.
I mean, would you be willing to go into any detail on that when you look back at that fight? Were there things that you definitely would do different, you know, if you had it again?
It's just, well, first of all, the choke I had in the first round, it was a shallow Darce choke that I kind of grabbed my forearm rather than grabbing my bicep. That was the mistake I made on that side of things. But he obviously practiced for it, and you know, he's obviously very good at getting out of chokes. I mean, he fought Nick Lentz after that, and he got out of a couple of chokes there. So, but I'm not going into too much detail, but I've definitely figured out some problems after that fight.